Do you want your live stream to look like this? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to show you some simple ways you can get started using the things you have and not spend a lot of money on other things you might need. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Beatwalker and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you some quick and easy ways you can get started with live streaming if you haven't already, using a free program called OBS and some other things that you might already have to get started. So let's jump right in. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download OBS. So if you go to just search OBS, it'll be the first one that pops up here. You want to go to that. Now, depending on the program you're using, right now I'm on a Mac, but I typically broadcast with a Windows, so I'll go ahead and download Mac just to show you what that looks like. Alright, so once it downloads, I'll click on that. Alright, so if you're not familiar with the process of installing with Mac, you just drag and drop into the applications folder. Oops. Now, obviously I already have it, so I'm just going to stop this. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I open it up. Okay, so we're going to open up OBS now. Now, this is going to look a little funky because I'm doing a screen record here or screen capture. So what I'm going to do is just show you very quickly how to create a new scene in here and the inputs you'll need. If you want a further in-depth video, I can do that. Or you can just go and find some other quick tutorials on how to set up OBS in a more complex fashion. So what you want to do is you just want to add a scene here, a new scene. So we'll title it test scene or just test. Okay. Okay, so you're going to get a blank screen. And as you can see, my mic is already inputting here. So you'll typically always have a desktop audio and a mic input. You can utilize this mic input already if you want, or depending on the mixer that you're using, you might want to use that mic input that goes to the mixer. So it's up to you, but for this sake, I'll just show you. If you go to mic, if you go to the properties here, this is my audio interface. So I want to keep that there. Now here's your sources. So this is going to be any video, any audio, or any pictures, browser, whatever you want to utilize would go in here. Okay. All right. So you basically only have a few sources unless you want to get complex with it. So the first source is going to be your Windows capture device, which will be your camera. In this case, I'm using the camera that's on my laptop, so you see me right here. Boom, boom, boom. And this is a C920 camera. The other camera I was using was a GoPro, which is on the other screen. All right, and then you can adjust this how you want. So this will go full screen here. Okay, so the next thing you'll want to add is your audio input capture. So depending on the source you're using to input audio, so mine would be the Behringer U-Control. I don't have that on here. So for the sake of this one, we'll use a built-in input because I want to use an example of DJing on the desktop. Okay. And that's pretty much it. You're basically ready to go in terms of setting it up. You'll have your audio come in here. Whichever audio capture device you're using, you want to select it there. And you'll always be able to see inputs coming in here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So the rest of it is just going into settings and make sure your stream is set up. So if you're doing Twitch, if you're doing Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, it's pretty self-explanatory. For Twitch, you can actually log in now. I have an older version here, so that'll be a little bit easier. YouTube, same thing. Facebook, I think it has a key that you can set up, so that's not too difficult. Again, I can explain it in another video if you'd like me to, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. Now, this is some other settings you can utilize. This all depends on your connection speed, upload speed. I think the rule of thumb is if you have let's say 10 megabits per second upload speed, then you'd want to half that or go no more than half of that. or let's say you go lower. If you only have 4, you'd want to bring this to 2. So this is really up to your speed. And then of course I only have software, but other devices would have a hardware such as a graphics card that you can utilize. And then the bit rate, like Facebook for example, only does 192. Twitch can go higher, but just keep that in mind. And then this is if you want to record, you can keep it the same or change it. That's up to you. Audio, I wouldn't really mess with that. 44.1 is a good rate to use. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So once you're all set up, you'll start streaming or recording depending on what you're doing. Now we'll go to setting up your mixer and program that you need to actually play music. Alright, so the second thing you'll need is some sort of audio interface or audio converter to convert the audio from your mixer into OBS. One of the cheapest audio converters I've used quite a bit in the past is this Behringer U-Control. Now it does have dual RCA inputs and outputs. That way you can feed the audio into your laptop and then output your audio to your speakers if you don't have alternate outputs from your mixer. So I'll leave a link to this below where you can grab for about $30 to $40 depending on the availability. But yeah, they're really cheap and sound quality works really well. Now the third thing you're going to need is some sort of mixer or audio program where you can do your mixing. So I'm using the Tractor Control S2. I've had this for years. It's something I've had forever because, you know, when I do shows for other people and stuff like that, it's something simple that I can take with me. It's compact and you don't need anything excessive to do that. Don't go and buy this big Pioneer DJ thing if you already have one. And if you don't want to spend any money, I'm going to show you a program you can use on your laptop. Using your laptop to actually DJ works pretty well. Alright, so we are back on the computer, and the program I wanted to talk about that it was free, or that is free right now, is Virtual DJ for home use. Depending on what you have. So I have it on a Mac. I'm going to download a Mac, or the Mac version. Unpack that. Alright, just go through the install process. Agree. Install. Sign my life away. So we want to open up Virtual DJ. Here we go. So welcome to Virtual DJ. You can use whatever to connect. So alright, so once you get logged in, then this is basically the interface for it. You have some tutorials here to go through, which will probably help you pretty well. This is your audio inputs and outputs. So in this case, we're going to use the computer audio. And this is all, I guess, this is all pretty self-explanatory. It's all drag and drop. So drag a track here. Drag a track here. This is one of my remixes. And yeah, you can mix straight from your computer into OBS. Now it's up to you whether you want to broadcast this in OBS or your video. So next I'm going to show you what type of camera you can use or can't use to get that set up. Alright, so the last thing you're going to need is a camera. So one of the cameras I've used for a long time is the C920 by Logitech. I know these are pretty scarce right now because of the situation, but you can actually utilize something else like a GoPro. A GoPro is what I'm using now. It's a GoPro 7 Black, or any other GoPro, I think 5 and above, can utilize the HDMI to a capture card. Now, a capture card is another thing you will need for a camera like the GoPro or any other camera that utilizes an external source. You wouldn't need it with this, and you can also utilize your phone. There's some programs out there where you can plug your phone directly in your computer and it'll pull up the video for that. So depending on what you have, would work better for you, but again, try not to go crazy with it. I will leave some links below with some of the items I've talked about. So behind me I actually have a green screen that you can get for pretty cheap as well. And the program I'm using is Luminant Music, which actually recognizes either speech or music to pull up different graphics. So if I switch them here, I'll show you some different graphics. So there's another one which is kind of cool. There's a bunch of different ones you can go through, and it can cycle through them, and puts on a really good show. I've had a lot of good feedback with this, so it's just something additional. There is a free trial on it. I'll link everything below so you can check it out. Other than that, keep it simple, have fun with it, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching.